What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Um Before we start off, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's watched my latest video, Dragon Ball FighterZ. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check that out. I pulled, I think, like three or four comebacks, and I'm just saying that Vegeta one, straight fire. I love that. But anyways, today I am going to try something a little new. Not sure, how it's gonna play out. Just gotta start something to see how it goes. Can't be expecting to be perfect at everything I do. So, storytelling is something I've always wanted to do on YouTube. After watching Susie and I forgot her channel name, but it's this girl that tells horror stories. I love like listening to her tell stories. Also, I mean, even though they're not her stories, she's still a really good storyteller. Anyways, I've always wanted to be a storyteller or some type on YouTube also, other than just a gamer. Like, I've always wanted to do skits. I always wanted to tell stories, play games, I wanted to do a bit of everything on this channel. And today is actually the first day I will be doing something different. And I really just want your feedback. Tell me how it went. Tell me if you enjoyed the story, if I should do more stories, or if I should stick to gaming. Probably won't listen to you if you tell me to stick to gaming, but I just want to see how you guys feel about my stories and everything. Obviously, I do know that my first story might not be the most entertaining because, I'm not really good at storytelling. I mean, my friends tell me I'm pretty good at them. I'm not too good at storytelling, but, or at least I don't believe I am. But I guess you gotta have to believe in yourself to do really good. Anyways, first story is about relationships. I went on Instagram, I asked you guys in a poll, what should I have a story about? And when I tell you that it was almost 100% all wanting me to tell you about my relationships, like, y'all are so invested into my love life. And when I tell you it's not that interesting, Jason might be able to disagree. Because I tell Jason everything about these girls. Like, everything. And but he just knows so much more than probably anyone else. He honestly knows more than Andrew.
Oh, Squidward.
To be honest, at this point, like, this man is the man I go to every time I talk about females. I didn't know how I should like tell a story about relationships, but I decided to tell my first relationship that I remember really well, which was in 5th grade. Was it 5th grade? It was like 5th or 6th grade. I can't really remember properly. It was one of the two. But anyways, so how should I start this off? Okay, so around 3rd, 4th grade, I used to live with my mom in Fort Worth. And on the weekends, I'd come over to Arlington to go see my grandparents, my dad, and my uncle, everybody, because everyone used to live in the same house back then. And so I always enjoyed coming back over here because that's where I saw my dad, my uncle. It was fair game, and I really enjoyed coming over here, mainly because I got to see them, but also because I got to see my friends. And whenever I saw my friends, I saw this beautiful girl. She was, I can remember it like it was yesterday, bro. She was this white girl, brown hair. It really, like, as a 3rd grader, you kind of don't care about the booty. So, like, I don't really care if she was thinking, I mean, as a 3rd grader, you shouldn't even be thinking about that. I just cared that she looked cute. And so, she was hella cute. And I always wanted to go say something to her. And she always waved at me, and I always waved back. And I always wanted to go talk to her. But the thing was, I was just too shy to talk to anybody back then. Like, I was probably the shyest kid for the longest time. I don't even think my shyness went away until I was, like, in high school, to be honest. Like, 9th grade, I think was when I started being shy. Yeah, I used to see my friends, and she would be outside, I wave at her, she waved back. Or she waved at me, and I waved back. But never talked to each other at all. She was just a really fine girl. But I did Like, I constantly tried building the confidence to go talk to her, but it never happened. I was too much of a coochie. But anyways, around 5th grade, something went down in Fort Worth, so it had me move out to Arlington with my grandparents, and I started living here. And whenever I lived here, I didn't know where I'd go to school, but we ended up finding a school down the road that, well, actually, no, the first school that we thought I was going to live in, it wasn't the right school. We had to go a little bit further down, which didn't make sense because if I went further down, well, okay, the excuse for why I couldn't go to the first school was because it wasn't in the district. But the other school, which is further down the street, they said I can go to that school because I was in the district. Not sure how that was possible, but it was possible, and I'm low-key blessed because that school is why I met so many great people, like Andrew. Like, I met, oh my gosh, y'all don't even understand. 2 of my greatest friends, Ernest and Andrew, were met in that school. Same with Jalissa. Same with, I think those were like low-key the only 3 friends that like I talk to on a daily basis that went to school with me. They are like my closest friends just because, and it all started with freaking this other school not letting me in, and I had to go down to Piercy. That's not even a part of the story. So we go to school, and 6th grade, my bad. 5th grade is when I find out that the girl that I had a crush on was in my classroom in 5th grade. She was literally, I think, if I remember correctly, she was like across the classroom from me, and she was, I low-key always stared at her. Like, she was just so fine to me. And I didn't really talk to her until we went on a field trip and we were put in groups in the classroom and everything. And that's when me and her started talking and becoming friends. Anyways, 6th grade rolls around, and that's when I meet my new friend Ernest, and that's when I talk to Andrew a little bit. We're not best friends yet. We're not even really friends. We're just people that go to this school together. Like, I did not know Andrew that well back in 6th grade, but we were talking, me and Ernest and my other friend Maxwell, all 3 of us were talking. We became really close friends, best friends and everything. And Ernest thought this one girl named Tori was really cute. Now, Ernest, he isn't a player, but Ernest knows how to say the right things at the right time, and he low-key, no homo on this, but he has the looks that just, he's just a really good-looking dude that men, not almost said men, oh my gosh, that these girls loved. Like, every single year I went to school with this dude, if I liked a girl, the girl ended up liking him. It was, you know what, that's a story of my life, low-key, because that's the same with Ernest ended up going out with Tori, and that's when we found out that Tori, the girl I liked, her name was Emily, and Jalissa, all 3 of them are friends, and they have like their little trio going on, and you know, me, Ernest, and Maxwell, we have our little trio going on. And so I can't remember if this is correct, Jalissa. If you're watching this, you're gonna have to tell me if this was true, but I think Maxwell ended up going out with Jalissa, so it left me being the only person vulnerable without any girlfriend. Emily was the last person in the trio who was single, and I literally could make my move and go out with this girl. We started talking on Facebook, but like I made a more aggressive push to talk to her. Like, I wasn't just sitting back and waiting for her to talk. She started talking to me a little bit on Facebook, and we just got closer. Now, one day, I was playing football with a few friends down the street, and we were playing concrete football. And most of y'all know I'm a big guy. Like, I can bulldoze pretty anyone who gets in my way. And I was running with the ball. You know, I was running near the grass though, like on the sidelines. And I was running, and this little short kid, he tried blocking me, and I didn't mean to push him really hard. I'm not even sure if I pushed him that hard, but I know I pushed him out of my way, and this kid flew, bro. Like, this dude got launched, like grenade launcher RPG launched out of this place, bro. he started crying, and everybody went around him, and they were like, bro, Devontae, you play too much. Like, why you got a truck and everything? Like, we're playing on concrete. What are you doing? And I'm like, all I was doing was running with the ball. And then his brother, the little kid had a brother, and he was like, the little kid's brother was like, you tackled him and all this. So he went home, told his parents, and his parents started coming out and looking for me. Bro, I dipped. When I tell you I ran for my life, I ran so fast, and I went to the park that's behind my house. And I was walking around, and I was so mad, like tears. You know when you get mad and like tears start forming in your eyes, and you start crying, and like you get that ugly, mad, crying face? Yeah, that was me. I was an ugly crier when he was mad. And Emily, she was walking down the street with one of her friends, and she noticed me, and she was like, Devontae? And I didn't want her to see me looking like this, but she saw me anyways, and she was like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing, just some stupid stuff went down. And she gave me a hug, and she was like, if you ever need to talk to anybody, I'm here for you. Just hit me up on Facebook, we'll talk about it. And I was like, thank you, I'll catch you later. Anyways, after that, a few days later, I'm sitting at home, I'm on my computer, I'm texting her on Facebook, and I'm feeling bold right now. I texted her and I was like, you know what? I feel like we need to go out. And I texted her that on Facebook, which is probably the most disrespectful, cowardly way you could ask someone out, is over text. But I was a coward. I'll admit it. As a freaking 6th grader, I was a coward. I was shy. I was scared. I sent her the message. I was like, hey, do you want to go out? She answers, yes. Not even skipping a beat. So I'm thinking like, bro, that was too easy. And it low-key was too easy. Like, we actually started going out. And I told Ernest and all them, everybody was happy. And they were like, finally, it's going down. And, everything was good. A few days passed. We go to school, we see each other. And I decided that we should start hanging out in person again. And so I see her in person. We go out to a park with our little brother and sister. And she's trying to hold my hand and give me hugs and like lean up on me. But I'm freaking awkward as crap. And I did not like physical attention. So every time she tried getting near me, I made an effort to get away from her. Like, I scooted away. I freaking instant transmission back to my house if I needed to. But I just wasn't feeling her. I mean, I was feeling her, but like, I wasn't feeling the physical attention that she was trying to give me. But anyways, so I think this is like a month, maybe 2 months. I don't remember exactly how long we actually went out, but a few moments later, she hits me up on Facebook again, and she's like, hey, we got a problem. And I'm like, what's good? And she's like, we gotta break up. This was my first actual girlfriend, and this was my first actual breakup. So that stuff hurt like bull dookie, bruh. I felt like I got shot in the heart. And I was like, yo, why? And she was like, if I'm being honest, the only reason I went out with you was because I felt bad, and I felt like I had to accept.
That kind of hurted me though, cause it's like, why would you think that?
And I'm like, oh. My heart freaking tried coming out of my freaking chest. That thing felt like I was gonna die after reading that. That stuff hurt like crazy. Like, it was the worst breakup for me at that moment. Like, it was bad. But after that, we stopped talking for like, I'm not sure how long. We stopped talking for like months. And then I started talking to her again, like in 7th grade, like the first year of middle school. And then I think it was 8th grade or 7th grade. I don't remember. We were going to the Texas Rangers football. I said football. What the freak? We went to the Texas Rangers game, baseball team, and we hung out over there. And me, her, and one of her other friends, Jordan was low-key kind of fine too. we were all talking to each other, and we were talking about relationships. And I was saying how girls love me like crazy. You know, I'm pulling left and right. You know, I'm obviously lying, but you know, I'm trying to stunt in front of Emily. You know, Emily broke my heart. You know, I'm stunting left and right, and I'm like, yo, I'm pulling this chick and that chick. This chick over here asked me to go to Chuck E. Cheese with her. Y'all ain't on my level. And you know, Emily and Jordan, they're like, oh, so who was your first girlfriend? And I was like, I kind of don't want to talk about it. And then Jordan asked Emily, she was like, Emily, so who was your first boyfriend? And Emily pointed at me. The whole, like, it was silent for like a good 2, maybe 5 seconds. Like, it was so silent. Like, it was one of those things that you see in TV shows where everyone's kind of like just looking at each other, just like, wow. Like, I guess it was low-key hard for her to believe or something. But I know Emily, the look on Emily's face was low-key kind of funny. She was like, I don't know if she felt ashamed or if she felt, I don't know how she felt, but the look on her face was kind of like one of those curled up lips, or no, it's like one of those cheeky smiles, and it's like, yeah, that's the guy I dated. And Jordan was like, are you for real? And I was like, yeah, I was her first boyfriend and she was my first girlfriend. And Jordan was like, wow, I bet that was interesting. And Emily changed the conversation so quickly because Lord knows I was about to expose the freak out of her, bro. I was about to tell Jordan everything, bro. But yeah, years later, like, we haven't talked since high school, or that, not that moment, but after we left middle school and went to high school, I never talked to her ever again. I think she went to a different school. And from what I've heard, she is not the same no more. All I'm gonna say, I literally don't think she goes by her anymore.